Welcome, a new Health Solutions family. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Harris, and today we're going to talk about moving past and moving forward with depression. So let's get started. Welcome, a new Health Solutions family. As today, I said we're going to talk a little bit about moving forward past depression. And a lot of times when you think about depression and you say the word depression, it is used a lot. I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling sad. You have people talking about, I'm just feeling depressed. But really, depression is dealing with a real clinical issue. And there is a big difference for someone who is dealing with, depression that is long-term, or some person that's dealing with, sadness and things of that nature. And a lot of times people deal with what you would call is situational depression. So first, let's talk about what depression is. Depression is a long-lasting feeling. You have constant feelings of worthlessness, constant feeling of feeling depressed most of the days. It can affect you physically, wherein you may have more high blood pressure, more anxiety, worrying more. You feel a little more empty, even though you may do things with your family and it may be fulfilling, but you still feel some form of emptiness. You may have a constant feeling of hopelessness, like things are never going to change. And even though you may try to fight it, it still is something that's constantly going on. You're having these thoughts that may have racing thoughts. You may have times when you're not able to sleep, or you may feel excessively tired and just want to sleep more. But you have to be clinically diagnosed to be diagnosed with either major depression or dysthymic disorder, which is depression that's been lasting for a significant amount of time, which is like 2 years or more. You have, like I said, decreased energy, ongoing feelings of hopelessness and worthlessness, have a hard time making decisions. You're not able to concentrate. Your mind may be wandering to things that may be on your problems. And it could be something that may have been situational, like I may have lost a loved one and now I'm feeling a little more depressed. I thought I could get out of it, but it seems as though that the days go on and on that I'm not able to cope anymore. And then sometimes people can look at and say, I can look and tell that that person is depressed. Well, a lot of times people are able to wear what I call a mask. We're able to put on the mask, and I call it, sometimes we have the church face. You're able to put your game face on. You may have been crying on your way to work, but then, you get, get to work and you're, hey, how are you? When inside, what you're feeling inside is not congruent with what your facial expressions are or how you may be interacting with your family. And a lot of times when people have family members who have committed suicide or things of that nature, they're like, I knew that she may have been depressed, or they didn't take serious of what someone was saying. So when things finally happen, they were like, I thought that this person was a happy person. You may look at different posts. I always say, Facebook is nothing but a fake book. We let people see what we want them to see. And many times we have people who are posting happy thoughts, they're doing these things, but they are struggling with depression. You see people that they dress and they are dressed to impress, but they are struggling with depression. You see people who are strong, powerful, that say, I'm going to be praying, and they are always being positive for other people, but they are struggling on the inside. And it's a difference. Sadness is something that we feel often. You can have days that you feel sad, and and there may be a significant amount of time wherein you may have had a time where even for me, I can say with myself, with losing a loved one, which is very close to me, which is my grandmother. I dealt with significant sadness, and it was hard for me to get going. I would go visit her gravesite, and it was hard for me to really think about, okay, well, I'm going home, and I used to go there on Fridays and visit with her. Okay, that's going to be a little different. Then I had to deal with the loss of a relationship. So then when I dealt with that, it was kind of like, okay, how do I cope? So I dealt with significant sadness for a while, but it was not to the point wherein I had to get to a point wherein I was clinically depressed. So a lot of times, people feel like they're dealing with sadness and things of that nature. Oh, well, I'll be able to get over it. But depression is a little bit bigger than that. Depression will take you and take your mind to places and to things that you never thought of, and you can never get out of it. It is day to day that you're going and you're struggling. And one thing that I would like to encourage you today is to let you know that you can move forward in dealing with your depression. You can move forward and not stay where you are. You don't have to stay in that continual depressed state. You can develop some skills, develop some ways to begin to get your life back on track. As I talk about beginning anew, you always have to set your mind and renew your mind daily. People feel sometimes that, we get ready every day. We get up, we go to work, we get ready, get our children ready for school, preparing breakfast, but what do we do to prepare our minds mentally for the day? What is it that we do to prepare and to see, okay, how can I do things to make sure that I am mentally fit and focused to handle my day? And when you are dealing and you're struggling with depression, and like I said before, it may be something that you may not notice initially, but you used to have things you used to love to do and you just don't have the desire to do it anymore. You're becoming more withdrawn. You're not really wanting to be around people anymore. And, the laughs that you used to laugh, and it was truly laughter, but now it's more of a fake laugh because you're trying to force yourself to do something. This is when, we need to start developing skills to get mentally fit and to start pushing past against that battle of depression, because the realistic thing about it is once you have gotten in this state, this is something you're going to have to battle with for the rest of your life. This is something that you're going to have to use skills to battle with and to use for the rest of your life. Now, a lot of times people say, well, I'm done. I used to deal with this, that, and the third. That is great. Just like when you do and you go through a weight loss plan, you go through the weight loss plan and you go through the necessary steps to lose weight. However, you have to develop skills and utilize skills to continue to maintain your weight that you want to obtain and to stay where you are. Just like being mentally fit and moving past depression, once you develop those skills and once you're moving forward and developing those skills, you have to continue to use skills daily to stay mentally fit and to fight against the depression that's trying to come against you. Because things are going to come, situations are going to happen, things are going to come. But we have to use skills, and you have to use skills daily to stay mentally fit, but you can move forward and you can move past the depression. So one tip that I would like to give is, first of all, to do a self-awareness. Start looking at some of your triggers. Start looking at some things that, that you see about yourself and knowing where you are. A lot of times people may be in denial that they are depressed. They may, become a little more withdrawn and say, well, no, I just didn't feel like doing that today. And you're seeing that it's becoming more of a habit. Look at things that may be your triggers. A trigger may be an argument with my spouse. Okay, so if I do get into an argument and it makes me more depressed, what is it that I can do to cope? If me, ruminating about a loss of a loved one and I'm struggling with depression, it's hard for me to get out of it. What are some things that I can do in being aware that these feelings and these things are coming on? When it's going on and it's from day to day and I feel like, I'm not able to get out of bed. I don't have the strength. I used to, feel, hopeful, but now I'm feeling a little more hopeless than before. I need to start doing a self-check and being aware of my thoughts and recognizing them so I can take the necessary steps to move forward. So the first step is self-awareness. And then secondly, know that being able to move forward is your right to use. Think about us when we turned 18 years of age. We were given the right to vote. But many of us don't utilize that right because we don't go to the voting booths, nor do we sign up to go and, to be a registered voter. So you have the right, and it is your right to live the life that you desire to live. It is your right to move past your depression and not stay where you are. But you have to use that right that is given to you. And what I'm saying is that you have to know that sometimes it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be an easy road sometimes, but utilize the necessary skills and know that it is your right. Because a lot of times when we are in that depressive state, and I can just speak on sometimes when I have had negative thoughts in my mind, or I have felt really stressed, and when you begin to get in that time where you have felt worthless and felt hopeless, you begin to ruminate negative thoughts. Oh, they don't love me. Oh, no one will ever love me. I don't think I'll ever amount to anything. This is never going to work out. I will always be where I am. I am lonely. You begin to receive some of these things. And when you begin to receive some of the things, you don't utilize the right that you have. Knowing that it is your right, but are you ready to use it? Once you become aware, knowing that it is your right and you have the ability to move forward, but are you ready to take those steps? Are you ready to use your card and to utilize the skills, like I said, that are necessary to move forward? It is your right. I don't care if your mother, I don't care if your grandmother has dealt with it. I don't care if your father has dealt with depression and you think that, oh gosh, this is just something that's in my family. I've never ever received anything that my family has dealt with. I've never received hypertension. I've never received diabetes. I've never received colon cancer. I've never received anxiety, because I'm going to use the necessary tools to try to stay healthy as possible. And if it is to a time that it does come, I have to know that I need to utilize the necessary things to try to get healthy, and knowing that I don't have to stay at that point, and allowing me to say, well, this is just where I'm going to be. What is it that you want for your life? What is it that you want for your future? Knowing that it is your right, just like your voter registration card that you have, but you just have to use it. Thirdly, watch what you eat. Watch what you eat in your mind. Watch what you eat from other people. Watch what you eat on TV. If you're a person that will constantly eat sweets and candy all the time and don't eat anything else healthy, then you're going to be what you eat. If you're a person that constantly eats salt and things that are salty foods and you end up getting hypertension, then you are what you eat. So when you're eating healthy things, you're going to be what you eat. And when I say eating healthy things, that is whenever I have a negative thought that comes into my mind, I need to do a thought stop technique, which means I'm stopping that thought and I'm changing it up with something positive. So I know that I need to utilize certain things and watch what I eat. Watch what it is that I'm watching on TV. Watch who it is that I'm allowing to talk into my life and who I'm seeking advice from. Watching those people that I allow to be around me, because they may be a negative influence on me. They may have me out here, drinking alcohol when I have already had a prior addiction to alcohol. They may be a person that may have me going back to crack cocaine. I've already been, working through that process to be delivered and not even wanted to smoke cocaine anymore. So what is it that I can do to watch what I eat so that I am not feeding my depression? I need to watch what it is that I'm not feeding that constant negativity in my head that's going to make me stay in that negative state. I can't continually feed myself and say that I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, and continually feed on that to stay depressed. I know that I have to switch up some things when I want to go where I want to go. And where is it that you want to go? How bad do you want it? Do you want to move on forward? Do you want that better life for you? Like I said before, you have that right, but are you aware of those things? Are you really ready to take that necessary step to move forward? Watch what it is that you're eating. Watch what it is that I'm watching on TV. If it's something I watch on TV that's making me more depressed, then I might need to switch my channel and watch something else more positive. If it's something that I am eating and I'm eating constantly and I'm eating it all the time when I know that I am an emotional eater, then I need to do necessary things to make sure I go to the grocery store and buy fruit or something so I can do a replacement. If I am an emotional shopper and I tend to buy things and I'm going out of my budget, then I may need to have an accountability partner to come and get my credit cards, that when I am feeling that way, that I can give it to them and I can trust them with it. Do whatever you need to do that is necessary to stay in the fight. Watch what it is that you're eating and not feed into your depression, but to starve that depression and start developing healthy skills and healthy habits to move forward. And lastly, work past the fear to get that new life. We get comfortable where we are, and I think I talked about before that we typically have a routine. We typically have the same people that we hang around. We typically have, what we do from day to day. You can typically say from Sunday to Saturday what your schedule is going to be. You can typically say from this time forward, this is my life and this is how I cope. This is how I've been. This is just me. A lot of times people say, I am who I am. You just got to accept me who I am. Well, the thing is, if you want something new out of your life, you have to work past your fear to move on forward. If you want to work past your depression, you have to take that initiative to go get help if you need to get help. To go see a psychiatrist, you need to go see a psychiatrist. A lot of times people go see their medical doctors, which is fine. However, but a person that specializes in mental health, like a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner that specializes in mental health and prescribing medications, will be more beneficial. That's like going to a specialist, but like you will go to a primary care doctor with general concerns like a cold or something like that. But if you're dealing with cancer, you're going to see an oncologist. Just like if you have a woman who's dealing with specific women's issues, you're going to see a gynecologist. So going to see a person who specializes in depression will be beneficial. Getting a therapist or a counselor or a coach, somebody that's going to help push you to that next level, that's going to help you work through your problems as a third party, working past that fear, saying, people are going to think I'm crazy. Well, people are going to talk about you, whether you're good. People are going to talk about you whether you're doing bad. I've learned that a long time ago. But are you ready to move forward and work past your fear? Are you ready to have those uncomfortable conversations and saying, well, Mom, you hurt my feelings when you said this, that, and the third, and I have been dealing with a lot of depression. Are you ready to confront that person who molested you and tore down your self-esteem? And now you're dealing with depression and you're sleeping with this man and that man. Are you ready to have those conversations and confront those things? Are you ready to forgive yourself for some of the things that you have done in your past so you can move on forward? What are those things that has made you in this depressive state? Are you ready to move past that fear and get out of your comfort zone to move forward? It's going to have some vulnerability that's going to be taking place. There's going to be some uncomfortable things. It's going to be sometimes you're going to cry. Sometimes you may just want to go back and put the covers over your head, but continue to move forward. What is it that you want for your life? Depression is one of those things that when it comes, it doesn't want to leave. But when you utilize the necessary tools and skills every day to say no more, to tell depression not today, to tell depression go on somewhere else, to tell depression I have the authority. I'm going to use my things that I have learned. I'm going to use the things that I have developed. I'm going to fight in this battle. When stress comes, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue to move forward. When I began to feel that feeling of hopelessness and that less energy, I'm going to put in and get my hands dirty to do what I need to do to move forward. And if it is to a point that I do need to go and get medications to help me for some time, I've seen people who had to be on medications for a while, but were able to successfully come off, with using tools and skills daily, to get off medications. But I wouldn't say to just use medications, because medications is just a Band-Aid. You want to heal and you want to stay healed. So healing from depression may take some time. It may take some work, but you can get there. You don't have to stay where you are, and know that you can always move forward. But do you really want to move forward? Are you ready to be self-aware? Are you ready to accept that it is your right to have the life that you want and to use that right that you have? Are you ready to take that next step and say, okay, I'm going to move on forward, and I'm going to say no more, and I'm going to say I choose me today, and I'm going to move on forward, and I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm not going to continue to feed my depression. I'm going to starve my depression and start to develop a healthy balance and a healthy life. And then after that, I'm going to move past the fear of being comfortable. I'm going to move past the fear of wanting to seek out for help because I feel like I need to be independent and I can't really trust anyone. I'm going to move past that fear and allow my vulnerabilities to take place so I can have healing in my life. You can have that life today and know that you can always move forward and move past your depression. A new Health Solutions family, as we talk about, is that you can move forward past depression. You can have that life that you want, and you don't have to stay where you are. Continue to move on past, continue to work past your fears. Know that it is your right. And if you need some help and you say, well, Dr. Harris, I would like to have someone to assist me with that, feel free to look up anewhealthsolutions.com and schedule a consultation with me on today. I have enjoyed you all, A New Health Solutions family, and I see you all soon. Have a great day, and know that today you can begin anew.